Hi, my name is Martin, and today I will show you how to manage simple tasks such as let's say failure request or service request or any kind of ticket, or maybe a task for your teammates or for your employees. Have in mind that there's also another tutorial explaining how to manage projects using Navigator platform. The main difference is that in case of a project, you have dependencies between the tasks in the project, like time dependencies, date dependencies, and also you might perform some analytics on your tasks in the project. So if you're interested in that, I invite you to watching that other video. Just to remind you, Navigator is an ECM class platform that allows to transform almost any kind of document or a process to a paperless form. Thanks to the system's very broad artificial intelligence and also business intelligence functionalities, features, you can easily collect, analyze, and also automate data flow across the company. Okay, let's go to the system. Today we will be working with the projects and tasks module. However, before we go on, I will explain the difference between the project or task approach and the document approach to what we are talking about today. Look, you have this scenario that you want to register something, a request for a work, and you might be wondering, should I use document, a regular document, or should I use task if I have an option to use that task form, because you need to have a license for that projects and tasks. So if you do have that option, that choice, in case of simple task, there's no much difference. There's not a much difference between the document and the task approach. The main difference is, let me just quickly open a form. The main difference is this tree on the left hand side. So if you are going to use that tree, there might be some cases that this tree on the left would be helpful. I will show you that in a minute. However, if you don't need that approach, it's actually, it doesn't really matter if you're using documents or tasks. Okay, but for this tutorial, I'll be using the task approach. Look, I have this application already designed. It covers the project well, actually management as well as task management. So look, in case of a project, I see all the tasks in the tree on the left hand side, but also I can use that infrastructure, I can use that architecture to register simple task. How would I do that? I simply add a new task. On the left, I have nothing visible because I have not, well, there's no project that I'm actually using at the moment. And I'm adding a task, let's say called preparing, or let's say fixing the printer. Okay, that would be our task. And the person responsible for that would be our secretary. And look, if I don't need that structure, that project structure on the left, I've got only one node, one task that I already added. What you should be already familiar with is that to all the objects that are registered in Navigator, you might assign a workflow process. So what I see on the tab is the design process. We won't be designing it from scratch. We'll be using a ready one, an existing one. So I've got this task registering step at the moment. when I click submit, the task goes to Angela Evans. I will log out and log in as Angela Evans to see how she sees that. So look, she's got these this operational task waiting for her. Task acceptance is the current step. And now the Angela has an option of, let's say, adding some subtasks. And this is quite interesting because she might, let's say, divide that task into 2 subtasks. First, let's say finding a good service company, and all right, this is me, I always do these spelling mistakes, sorry for that. Finding a good service company. And the second would be a task below this time, getting or ordering service. Okay, so what she can do is she might start the workflow for the subtask. So let's say she would assign maybe an accountant this time to be responsible for this subtask, and for the second task, let's say the second task is waiting for the first to be finished. So let's say I'm getting a finish date for this first one, and the ordering service would start after the first one is finished. Okay, let's say it would be lasting for 10 days. Okay, so what we have now, and the person responsible for that would be Angela. So she has divided her task into 2 subtasks, and the first task she assigned to someone else, and once the first subtask is ready, she will get a notification that she might start working on the second task. And this is the scenario that you might use the tree on the left hand side. But if you are willing to use a simpler form, you don't need these dates and dependencies and KPIs, the best option is to go to the application, go to the, okay, she cannot do that because she doesn't have the permissions. I will log out and log in as Zoe. The better option is sorry, to go to the projects. I will go to the context of this application, go to edit this application, and I will create a new document. Maybe I'll make a copy, and I will call it simple task. Simple task, or let's call it specifically service request. And let's say I have the statuses exactly as in operational task, but I will again use the same form, but I will not use all the fields that were presented on the operational task. So for example, I don't want to see the KPIs, and I also don't want to be bothered with the dependencies. And in fact, I might not use the dates. What I'll do, sorry, I will switch off the dates. What I will use, I will save that. What I will use is, in this case, I will have to go to the form. I will use a simple date in the general tab here. I will call it, let's say, maybe through Visual Editor, I will call it Okay, maybe I'll use the embedded field. This would be embedded field. I will use the planned finish date. Yeah, I will put it somewhere here, and I will call it estimated date. And I will also use another date, which would be called actual date, actual finish date, and I will call it actual date. Yeah. All right. I will quickly go to edit, and this actual date and estimated date would be used only for service request. Okay, so I'll make that visible only and editable only for service request, and also estimated that date for service request only. Okay, I've got it ready, and also I will copy one of the procedures that were designed for the operational task, maybe this one, or maybe this one. I will copy that, and I will just change it a bit. Okay. First of all, I will change the task add. That would be a service request workflow. All right, and I will make it a default procedure for not the operational task but for the service request. Okay, good. And let's quickly go through the steps. Task registering, maybe through the diagram, it's always a better view. Task registering, task acceptance. So let's say if we register a request and we put a person responsible for that request, this person has to, let's say, approve this request. If something is wrong, the task goes to verification. We might change a bit and not call it task registering, but let's say request registering, yeah, instead of request verification, request request starting work, finishing work, and request confirmation. Well, we won't actually need that acknowledgement by the superior, because we don't, in this scenario, it's not necessary. So I will double click and delete that step. Okay, let's have a quick look through the details. Request registering, the path name is submit, request verification, submit, drop task, request acceptance, approve, reject. I'm just checking the names of the buttons that would be available on the form. Starting work, mark as started, finishing work, mark as finished, responsible person, and at the end it goes back to the person who launched the workflow, and this person has got two buttons. First is well done, thanks, and the second is reject. If something is wrong, it goes to, let's say, again to this step here, starting work. Okay, we've got it ready, so let's see how our new form works. Okay, I don't have the module, so maybe I'll go back and design quickly a module for our modules. Okay, I will call it service requests. Okay, settings, I'm just looking for a right icon. Maybe this one. And this would be a list of, well, I should actually design a new list. In this case, I will switch to the all task list. However, it should be only the service request task. But now I will apply the service request. Okay, so have in mind that this list would be showing me all the tasks, and I should actually limit that only to the service requests, but maybe I'll do that later on. Okay, let's register the new module and let's see how it works. Service requests. I have a bunch of tasks, that exactly what I said before. It should be limited, and when I click add, look what happened. There is a type service request. I can register another request, which is, let's say, called fixing mouse failure. Okay, doesn't click. Okay, something like that. Estimated date should be like this. Responsible person, let's say secretary. And look, I don't have other fields that are not well, actually necessary for the service requests, and they were available in case of an operational task. I save that, I submit, and here we go. The workflow goes through the steps we designed. Okay, at the end, I will also fix that list, because it wouldn't. It should be done this way. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll make a service request list, based on the service request. Have a quick look how it looks. Okay, modification date to the end, modified by. Okay, I will not play too much on that. The list is ready, and I will, where are my modules? Okay, I will apply that list, service request. So we apply the list to the service request. I'll save that, finish configuration, and what we have is a separate list for service requests only. When I add, the system opens the service request type or the service request form for me. Okay, so I think that's enough for today. I also invite you to watch other videos, especially the one with project management, and also of other sections covered by Navigator platform. Thank you very much. See you again.